I'm Katie Couric. Tonight, the death of a TV preacher and political power broker.
We have never yet compromised our message or our mission.
The Reverend Jerry Falwell, leader of Christian conservatives, courted by candidates, lambasted by critics, often controversial. Also tonight, ambush in Iraq. The search goes on for 3 American soldiers kidnapped by terrorists while their comrades at home carry on. And millions of our kids play games online, and that's making them easy pickings for advertisers. Our special series tonight.
This is the CBS Evening News with Katie Couric.
Hello, everyone. He was one of the most influential figures in America, a religious leader and a political leader. The Reverend Jerry Falwell died today at the age of 73 after collapsing in his office in Lynchburg, Virginia. Falwell, who preached to a nationwide television audience, was the founder of the politically powerful Christian conservative movement with his organization called the Moral Majority. Republican presidential candidates sought his support, but critics questioned his moral authority and some of the controversial remarks he made. For more perspective now, we turn to 2 Christian leaders. The Reverend Robert H. Schuller is founding pastor of the Crystal Cathedral in Garden Grove, California, and has long preached to a worldwide audience on the Hour of Power television show. Tony Perkins is president of the Family Research Council, a conservative Christian group that focuses on policy issues. Tony Perkins, first of all, how would you characterize Reverend Falwell's legacy?
Well, I think it's twofold, Katie. I first met Dr. Falwell 20 years ago as a student at Liberty University, and I think he has impacted the nation in 2 ways. One, by leading many people to a saving knowledge of Jesus Christ through preaching the gospel, and secondly, by challenging Christians to be what Jesus called us as salt and light, to get involved and engage the culture. And he's done that. And through Liberty University, through Thomas Road Baptist Church, he has raised up many that follow in his footsteps, as he was a pioneer in this area.
Reverend Schuller, what do you believe was his most significant contribution?
I think it's probably his courage that we all need, the courage to discover the principles that you can commit your life and values to, and then the courage to come forward and give leadership, knowing that if you're a leader, your back is to your enemies. I talked to him only a few months ago, and I said, you know, Jerry, I saw you on TV, and you don't look well. You don't look well at all. And we never talk because we're not in the same groups. But Jerry, I'm concerned about your life. I think you're not well. And he said, well, thank you for your concern. And I said, I do want to tell you one thing, and that's why I've called. If you should die in the next few months, strange that I would say that, I wanted you to know that though we weren't in the same camps and in the same marches, I have profound respect for the fact that you had the courage to do what you thought Jesus Christ wanted you to do, and you were prepared to pay the price with your life if you needed to.
Well, Reverend Robert Schuller and Tony Perkins, gentlemen, thank you for your time this evening. You can find a full biography, by the way, and much more on the life of Jerry Falwell at cbsnews.com. And there is much more CBS News ahead. Coming up next, a desperate door-to-door search in Iraq for 3 American soldiers held by terrorists. The latest on that and on the anxious wait for word back home. In Iraq tonight, the search continues for 3 American soldiers who were kidnapped by terrorists Saturday south of Baghdad when their convoy was ambushed by insurgents. 4 other U.S. soldiers were killed in that attack. Comrades have been searching door to door in the dangerous area known as the Triangle of Death. They have questioned hundreds of people. A group linked to al-Qaeda claims it's holding the soldiers, but has yet to provide any proof. The kidnapped soldiers and those who died, all from the 10th Mountain Division based in upstate New York. And tonight, the tight-knit Fort Drum family is waiting very anxiously for word from Iraq on the fate of the missing. Here's Sharon Alfonsi.
The buzz cuts and boots may be standard issue, but every soldier has a name. And tonight, this base is collectively holding its breath as it waits to learn which names will be added to the list of those killed or missing after the deadly weekend ambush in Iraq.
All the soldiers are family.
The 7 soldiers were all stationed here at Fort Drum, assigned to 2nd Brigade, 10th Mountain Division. 3 are still missing. 4 were killed. Among them, Daniel Cornier. He joined the Army just 10 days after graduating from high school.
He died living his dream. And that was being a soldier.
He was just 19 years old. Sergeant First Class James Cannell had 19 years experience in the Army. He also had 4 children and was recovering from a shrapnel wound, but went back to the front lines.
He loved the Army. I always said it was his dream. And I guess did all I could to fulfill it.
When his country needed him, he went, and he gave his all.
The echo of that loss and so many others can be felt around Fort Drum.
I mean, I've lost 2 good friends over there, so.
More than 80 soldiers from this base have been killed since the start of the war. Thousands are still fighting, many assisting with the hunt for the missing soldiers. A hunt the Al-Qaeda front group that claims to have captured the soldiers has warned the U.S. to stop, or else.
That's just trying to scare us off.
And will you be scared?
No. No.
You guys are coming to get them.
We're coming to get the soldiers at all costs. We're coming to get the soldiers.
Late today, the Pentagon released the names of all the soldiers involved. These are the names of the 3 soldiers who are known to have been killed in the ambush. And these are the soldiers whose status is unknown. They are either dead or missing. Tonight, the Pentagon and the families here don't know which. Sharon Alfonsi, CBS News, Fort Drum, New York.
Coming up next, a new advertising tactic that turns online games into commercials in our series, Gotta Have It, the hard sell to kids. Kids these days have a lot of money to spend, and advertisers are going after them with a vengeance. One place they're finding them is on the internet. Children between the ages of 8 and 18 spend on average an hour a day on the computer for recreation. And nearly 13 million kids between 12 and 17 play online games. Advertisers are targeting them now with what's called advergaming. John Blackstone continues our series, Gotta Have It, the hard sell to kids.
When 10-year-old Caroline plays games on the internet, she can score with Skittles, race with Chips Ahoy, or hang out with SpongeBob.
Play games starring your favorite Nick characters.
Internet games are filled with products like Cheetos, Mountain Dew, and Laffy Taffy.
So this one, you jump on the Laffy Taffy.
Not just ads, not just games, they're advergames.
Well, if it was just a game, it probably wouldn't have the company's candy bar or cereal or soda in it. So it's definitely more than a game.
But does having fun with Fruit Loops or battling the Pirates of the Caribbean work as a sales pitch?
If the game like shows the toy or the movie, it makes you want to see it or buy it or something.
Samantha Ski at Alloy Media, a company that specializes in marketing to young people, says advertisers know the consumers of tomorrow are the children of today.
Oh, I love that!
During these years, they're developing their first loyalties within personal care products, for example, within automotive.
Automotive? For kids too young to drive? Toyota sells virtual cars in Yville, building brand loyalty among kids growing up in a world of cell phones, the internet, and instant messaging.
They're perpetually connected.
So connected and so media savvy, says Ski, that marketers trying to reach today's kids have to give them something they want.
Their ability to find and to edit media, their ability to really manage their media experience is tremendous.
And with children now as likely to be on the internet as in the playground, they're exposed to so much advertising they learn to ignore it. That's why advertisers love internet games. They demand attention.
And attention is a great commodity right now.
But Ted Lempert says treating children's attention as a commodity can be harmful. He's president of Children Now, a group that has successfully pushed for limits on TV advertising to kids. But on the internet, advergames are outside those rules.
You think about that 30-second commercial. Basically, a lot of those games are pretty fun to play, and kids really get engaged in them. So it really ends up becoming a 30-minute commercial.
It's an issue that's right in Lempert's own backyard.
Caroline, why are you on a baby swing?
Caroline is his daughter. How much time do you spend playing games? More than you should?
Well, probably.
As a parent, are you in control?
Not as much as I'd like to be.
He's happy Caroline knows an ad when she sees one.
Well, here's a product ad.
For pizza offered online and delivered while she's playing. A pitch she'll resist this time. John Blackstone, CBS News, San Carlos, California.
For more about advergaming and other advertising aimed at your children, you can check out our website at cbsnews.com. And tomorrow, we'll show you how tweens are getting tricked into purchasing products right on their cell phones. And guess who gets the bill? We continue our series, Gotta Have It, the hard sell to kids. And we'll have more about the legacy of the Reverend Jerry Falwell in a moment. We want to go back now to our top story tonight, the death of the Reverend Jerry Falwell. Jeff Greenfield is our CBS News senior political correspondent. Historian Douglas Brinkley is a CBS News analyst. Doug, let me start with you. What impact do you think Jerry Falwell had on religion and politics in this country?
Well, Katie, a lot. He was really the John the Baptist of the Republican Revolution of 1980. The moral majority was created in 1979, a year before Ronald Reagan. And he kind of set the tone and tenor for the 1980s and allowed Ronald Reagan to be able to use issues like questioning the importance of Roe v. Wade and whether it should be overturned, denouncing pornography. The whole Morning Again in America motif smacked of Jerry Falwell.
And Jeff, who do you think will fill the vacuum now that Jerry Falwell is gone, or had that vacuum already been filled?
Yes, I think actually for the last 20 years, Falwell has receded. Pat Robertson in the late 80s with the Christian Coalition, now James Dobson with Focus on the Family, Tony Perkins of the Family Research Council. He's more a figure that you see on a lot of cable news debates. And I think also occasional comments, quite apart from the 9/11 one, like the Teletubbies comment where he suggested a gay message there, probably helped undercut him a little bit. It's the legacy that counts with him, I think, Katie.
And Doug, he did blame the pagans, abortionists, feminists, gays, and others for helping to make the September 11th attacks happen. How did that affect his standing, in your view?
Well, many people started writing him off as a joke. He was a vibrant political force in the 1980s, but by 2001, Falwell was kind of comedy fodder for people. The feminists never liked him in the United States. He was always warring with the women's movement. In many ways, he's a backlash figure. He was opposed to the Great Society and opposed to some of the progressive liberal high watermarks of the 1960s. And certainly he wanted his returning to family values was returning to women being in the kitchen in many ways.
Douglas Brinkley, Jeff Greenfield, gentlemen, thank you. And that is the CBS Evening News for tonight. I'm Katie Couric. Thanks for watching. I'll see you tomorrow. Good night.